Okay, and I am back for part 2 of I bought a reproduction copy of a rare Mega Man game at GameStop. Now, something I don't believe I mentioned in the first part video of this story, the value of that game. Okay? I don't believe I mentioned the value of the game. I know I mentioned what I paid for the game, which was actually, I don't need to guess. I can look right here at this. I paid $57.94 for the game. And that was brought down to that price by my PowerUp Rewards Pro membership because the original price for the game was $70, loose card only. And, well, unfortunately, that's about the going rate for Mega Man Star Force 3 Black Ace. It's about a $75 game, loose cartridge. So, yeah, I don't believe I said that in the first part video of this story because this happened to me recently. So I just want to get that out, that is the current market value for that game. And then that was what I paid for it. I believe I did say that in the first part of this video. Yeah. Okay. So the resolution for how GameStop handled and took care of it is going to be split up into two parts because I went to two different GameStops. So I'm going to talk to you guys and tell you about what happened at the first GameStop and then what happened when I went to the second GameStop. So I walk into the first GameStop. There's two girls standing there behind the counter. The one girl is the same employee who was there Monday of this week when I went and purchased the game from them along with Asura's Wrath and pre-ordered Fatal Fury City of the Wolves Deluxe Edition. So she was the same girl who rung me up on Monday, and she did happen to remember me, which was good. I felt a little awkward that she was there because I was kind of hoping she wouldn't be there, but that's besides the point. So the other girl I did not recognize, and she kind of real cheerfully and friendly goes, hi, welcome to GameStop. What brings you in today? And I literally was like, well, I wish I was here under better circumstances, and then I plopped the game down right on the counter and was like, I bought this on Monday and this is a bootleg. That was how I just walked in and just said it just like that. And the girl who greeted me like that came over to me at the counter and looked at it, and she says, oh, well the serial number stamped onto the front of the label matches the serial number stamped on the back of the cartridge. I'm like, no. Well, I was like, yeah, it does, but that's besides the point. That doesn't mean anything. I said, do you want me to show you and school you how I can tell you this is fake? And she looked at me and was like, yeah, okay. So the first thing I pointed out was the Nintendo logo on the back of the cartridge, how the font was. Dead giveaway. Just dead giveaway. And she agreed. And then I flipped it back over onto the front and pointed to the Nintendo Seal Quality logo on the label. And I was like, it's supposed to shimmer gold when you reflect light off of it and move it. It's not doing that. And she goes, oh my God, you're right. So she actually knew exactly what I was talking about. But then she looked at the sides of the cartridge and realized that someone had split it open. And, well, I, of course, did that. But I didn't admit that to them. So I led them to think that they took the game in like that, and then it was sold to me like that. But when the girl who was mainly helping me noticed that, she split the two plastic pieces of the cartridge apart, looked at the motherboard, pointed to the giant black blob on the motherboard, and was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be there, so that's definitely a reproduction copy. And all I did was shake my head and smile and said, no, it's not. So she did not give me a problem at all, and then asked me how I wanted my refund to be refunded back to me. Because, like I said, I got my receipt right here. So it was $57.94, and then I paid for a 1-year warranty for the game, which was $4.74. So in total, that was $62. No, oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Well, so the total for the game and the warranty was $62.68, but then, you can't forget about good old New Jersey sales tax. So that brings it to $66.83. So that's $66, that's a lot of money. So my options were cash, back on my debit card, or a gift card. I decided to go back on the gift card, and I'll be honest, I didn't know GameStop did refunds back in cash if you used a debit card for purchasing. I did not know that. So that was pretty cool. Usually, this is just a me personal thing, but if I buy something and use my debit card and have to return it, I would rather it not go back on my debit card, because that's going to take 5 to 7 business days. And, if I can have the option of getting it refunded back to me in cash, that's just usually what I always do. The saying goes, cash is king for a reason, But, in all seriousness, it's just much easier, getting it refunded like that. Now, I opted for the gift card because I never know when I'm going to walk into a GameStop and there's just going to be, a rare game, a rare controller, a rare console, something, So I opted for the gift card, and that's what I had the $66.83 refunded back to me on. And I'm happy with that. Now, this, ladies and gentlemen, is where the story gets interesting. Okay, so that was the first GameStop store. Oh, and by the way, not bad-mouthing either of the two female employees who were at that store, because they were both very nice and very friendly, and they did not give me a hard time with the return. And they both felt really bad about that it was fake, because I explained to both of them how I love Mega Man, and I love the Mega Man Star Force series especially, and these games are very hard to come by. And I got really hype and happy when I found this one, because I didn't have that one in my collection. So they actually felt bad about that, but that's okay. That's besides the point. This is where the story gets interesting, because you see, the girl, the one female employee who was there, who rung me up on Monday, who was there when I went on Friday, said the GameStop a mile up the road is showing that they have the same exact game in their inventory too. I said, oh, do they now? Do they now? Okay. And she called the store to confirm, and I asked her to put the game aside for me. I'll be right there, which they did. Now, again, Mega Man Star Force 3 Black Ace, a rare, hard-to-find game. Believe it or not, because Star Force 3 was split into 2 games, Star Force 3 Black Ace and Star Force 3 Red Joker. Red Joker is the harder of the 2 versions of Star Force 3 to come by, and I believe Red Joker is actually worth a little bit more money than Black Ace is. So if you want to get technical, Star Force 3 Black Ace is the cheaper of the 2 Star Force 3 versions to buy and own. But I digress. When she said that they were showing that they had a copy in their inventory, I said, yeah, tell them to put it aside. I'll be right there. Because I never come across Mega Man Star Force games in the wild. I never do. The most recent time I did And I can link the YouTube short at the end of this video as proof, if you guys want to see, because I would never lie to you guys or make this up. The last Star Force game I came across was a year or two ago. It was either before my birthday in March or just after my birthday in March. Next Level Video Games, shout out to Nick, posted that they got in Mega Man Star Force Dragon on the DS, loose cartridge only. And I hit him up so fast for that game, and I said, Nick, please put that game aside for me. I will be right there and buy it. And, well, I don't know if I went that exact day. I think I might have went that day or two later, but that's besides the point. So, literally, the last Mega Man Star Force game I picked up was from Next Level Video Games, and that was probably a year or two ago, I want to say. So, I do not come across them very often in the wild. I really do not. But that's besides the point. So, I go to this other GameStop store a mile up the road, and I walk in, and there's 2 female employees behind the counter. Now, obviously, these female employees are different from the other ones, of course. But the one I immediately recognized because she was the female employee at the GameStop store who rung me up for my Star Wars Battlefront 2 edition PlayStation 4 Pro, which I probably bought that, I'm going to guess 2 or 3 years ago now, and that was an early birthday present to myself. And ever since then, I've kind of been seeing her at local GameStops that are close to me in the area. I guess they have her kind of moving around, whatever. So I recognized her, and I really liked her. We got along great. So I was like, oh, cool. The other girl, I never saw before a day in my life, didn't recognize her, didn't know nothing. So we will call these employees nice employee and bad employee. So nice employee came up to me, and she said, hey, welcome to GameStop. What brings you in today? And I said, I was at another GameStop, and they told me you had a Mega Man Star Force game in stock. And she said, oh, that's you. Yes, we have it right here. And it was literally put aside for me on the counter. And she handed it to me and let me look at it at the counter. And it was a copy of Star Force 3 Black Ace. It was in a weird, clear, protective case that was definitely aftermarket, was not genuine Nintendo. And the nice employee informed the bad employee why I was looking at it, and then bad employees said, and I quote out loud, oh, I don't get paid enough to check if a video game is real or not. Which, I didn't ask for that, number one. Number two, that's great, but, after you saying that, I don't even want to talk to you, let alone, interact with you, because if that's how you truly feel about your job, then me being a retro game collector is going to mean nothing to you. But the nice employee, I believe, might also be a retro game collector, so she understood where I was coming from, and, she could level with me. So I looked at the nice employee and said out loud, well, when you're paying $50, $60, $70, over $100 for a single game, you want to make sure that it's real and legit so that you're not getting scammed. And I said that out loud, real loud, so that a couple of people in the store heard and the bad employee heard too. So I was struggling to get the game out of this protective case, and I finally got it out. Looked at the label. Label looks really damn good. Flipped it over. One look at the Nintendo logo, and I'm like, I looked up at the nice employee, and I was like, I'm sorry, but this is a fake. This is also bootleg. And she had no idea. And, I said, I hate to say it, but if someone brought this in and traded it to you like that, you guys got scammed. And she actually looked at me and she said, well, you'd be surprised. Sometimes these get sent over to us from our warehouse. And I was so shocked by that when she said that. It was kind of crazy. Like, I didn't expect that at all. And I just was like, well, okay, thank you. I appreciate you putting it aside for me, but I don't want it. you know. And then since I was already there, I was like, well, since I'm here, I'll take a look around, see if I see any games that I want. Okay, so these were the two games I ended up buying and walking away with from the second GameStop. And let me just kind of, give a little explanation as to why I bought these for each. So we have James Cameron's Avatar the game. I love, 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 love James Cameron's Avatar so much. And I knew that this had a video game based off the movie. I don't know when this released, but I knew it released on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. So when I saw that they had this copy on PS3 and for only $10, I was like, yeah, I'm buying that. Now, Karate Kid Street Rumble, on the other hand, this is a new Karate Kid 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up game. And when I looked at the gameplay, I was like, dude, this looks really good. Like, it reminded me of, like, Double Dragon and River City Ransom. I was like, dude, this looks cool. The price tag on that one, it said was $25, now $20. And at $20, I was like, yeah, okay, that's a really good price. I'm going to grab that. And as you can see, it's brand new, factory sealed. And I haven't decided yet if I want to actually open it or not. But the game looks really damn good, though, I have to say. So I ended up just buying these two games. And I got warranties on both of them, 1-year warranty. And it cost me $35.46. Did not think that was bad at all. And you're probably thinking that, oh, you used the gift card. No, I didn't, because I forgot about the gift card entirely and used my debit card. But that's okay. That is A-okay, because this still has $66 left on it. I will find something cool to use it towards, trust me. And before I walked out of the store after buying these, I said to the nice employee, oh, by the way, I still have the Battlefront 2 Edition PS4 Pro you sold me, and it still is kicking and working great. And she smiled and laughed and was like, oh, that's cool. I'm glad. I'm happy to hear that. So she definitely remembered me from that, and I'm glad that she did, because I remembered her. It's little things like that if you're going in, I don't care what the store is, if you're going in any type of store and you're going there frequently, it's good just to make connections and relationships with people who work there, because you never know what it could lead to. So, yeah, ultimately, this resolution went smooth and I did not have any problems with it. However, and I forgot to say this when I was talking about the first GameStop store. When I was talking to the two female employees at the first GameStop store, the one who was there on Monday who rung me up said, and I quote, since we are not technically considered a GameStop retro store, they do not send us the security bit screwdrivers to take old school cartridge-based games apart. And I said to her, oh, that's interesting, because I've seen videos by multiple YouTubers who go in multiple GameStops in their areas, and you guys have the screwdrivers right there on the counter ready to check cartridge-based games. But when she said that we're not a certified retro store, I guess that explains why. But at the same time, I would think the CEO of GameStop would just send them out to every store, because why wouldn't you want to have them, why wouldn't you want to have them at every store? Because you never know what some customer is going to walk in your store with. retro or modern games, that is, and you would want to check them if they're retro to make sure they're legit. And basically, that was my answer why the Mega Man Star Force 3 Black Ace was never checked. That was never checked. Now, what's also interesting, and I don't think this is true, but if it is, correct me down below. The main girl at the first GameStop who was helping me do the return, she said, since someone took this cartridge apart, you can't get it back together. Once you take DS cartridges apart, they don't go back together. Now, in my game collecting lifetime, I've only ever had to take apart one DS game before in my life. And that one was, believe it or not, I want to say it was either Metroid Prime Hunter's First Hunt on the DS, or it might have been the Metroid Pinball game on DS, because I own both, and I think it was one of those. I just couldn't get it to play, and then I had to manually take the cartridge apart, cleaned it from the inside out, put it back together, and it played fine. But she said that once you split a DS cartridge apart, you can't get it back together. Yeah, I don't think that's true, because I did that for one of those Metroid games, and I got it back together, and it played just fine after that. And I've never had a problem with it, so I don't know. Maybe I got lucky, but if DS games normally don't go back together, then please let me know that. But I don't. I think she was. I don't think she knew what she was talking about. But yeah. So all in all, I'm really happy with how it went. It's a shame, again. I hate to keep sounding like a broken record. I would have loved to have added Mega Man Star Force 3 Black Ace to my Star Force game collection. I really, truly would have. But you know what? I could never, ever, ever justify spending $57 on a loose cartridge-only copy of that game, and then it be a reproduction copy of that game at that. If it was a genuine copy, I wouldn't have cared. I would have kept it. Like I said, I don't have a problem buying and collecting loose cartridge or loose disc-only games. That doesn't bother me. But I simply just couldn't. I couldn't justify that for a reproduction copy. Nope. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Please let me know down below in the comment section if this has ever happened to you. And you know what? Let me know also down below in the comment section what you would have done in this scenario. Thank you for watching, and take care.